Hi, I'm Dr. Steve G. Jones, and welcome to Conversational Hypnosis, the Depth of the Subconscious. In this video, video 1, I'm going to talk about the art of a hypnotic deepening. Now, you may wonder, what is a deepening? What is the process of putting someone into a deeper state? Well, although a deepening is similar to an induction, which is the process of establishing the conditions required for hypnosis to occur, it is separate. So you have an induction and a deepening, two different concepts, two different parts of any good hypnosis session. And many people use the two terms interchangeably, which makes things even more complicated, but they are different, or at least the way I teach it, the way I've been teaching this for a long time. These two things are different. So the induction helps to relax a client and calm their fears, and the deepening is going to intensify that. As the name induction implies, you're inducing the hypnotic state. You're getting them into hypnosis. You're beginning the process. And then, as the word deepening implies, you're deepening that. You're making it even more powerful. So the client moves into a deeper state of consciousness during the deepening. Now, be sure that your client feels safe, because you want them to relax and not stress out. If they imagine themselves falling down steps, for example. So in the deepening, you're having them go down something. You don't want them to imagine falling down. You want them to relax so they have a pleasant experience. The deepening works by asking your client to walk down a set of stairs, for example, or watch a sunset. And if they're walking down a set of stairs, then with each step they go deeper into their consciousness. Their consciousness starts to fade, and they start to get into their subconscious mind a little bit more. Or if they're watching the sunset, then with each number that's counted, the sun goes down a little lower. Now, using positive language during this ensures that the client will fall deeper into a subconscious state and stay relaxed during the hypnosis session. And at the same time, you can have your client visualize all of this. So rather than just having them conceptually think about going down the stairs, they can actually see the staircase, and they can see the wooden railing of the staircase, for example. If they're on the beach watching a sunset, they can see the beautiful beach and you can describe in vivid color the water and how it feels, and then you can share with them the deepening. So there are various examples of deepenings, but I want to share one with you right now. I actually want to do a deepening so that you'll understand how it works and how it sounds. So if you're watching or listening to this and operating a motor vehicle or jogging or even doing housework or doing anything besides sitting or lying down right now, you need to stop listening, because I'm going to share with you a deepening and it could relax you quite a bit. So if you are doing anything other than sitting or lying down, I want you to stop listening and listen to this at a time when you can, when you're not doing anything else. You're not operating any machinery, you're not doing anything, you're just sitting or lying down. It's only going to be maybe 5 minutes, but it's going to relax you nonetheless. So here's an example of a deepening. Now keep in mind, the induction's already happening. I've already got them into a hypnotic state using the induction. The induction has happened already. The deepening is about to happen. And so let me share with you the deepening. Now, this deepening is based on the person being on the beach, on a beautiful beach, and they're going to watch a sunset. So I'm not only going to share with you the deepening, I'm also going to share with you what I'm doing during the deepening. So as we begin the deepening, I like to say the following. And as you continue relaxing, I always say that. That's a good intermediate preparatory thing to say, as you continue relaxing, because it implies that they're already relaxing. Now they're going to continue relaxing as you continue relaxing. If I say, in a moment you're going to relax, that's not quite as powerful as you continue relaxing, because as you continue relaxing makes them think, wait a minute, I guess I already was relaxing, because he's saying as I continue this process. It also lets them know what's coming up. So it sort of explains what's happened already, whatever's been going on in their minds, that equals relaxing. Okay, well, I guess I have been relaxing. And now it's going to continue. As you continue relaxing, every breath you take relaxes you more and more deeply. So now I've already built in some things before I've even started the deepening that are going to cause them to relax more deeply. They're watching the sun go lower and lower. The downward counting is 10 to 1. That stays the same. In any deepening I do, it's 10 to 1 counting. Sometimes 5 to 1 if I'm doing something that's for an interview or something. I'll shorten everything, and that's the condensed version. But in a normal client interaction in an office, I like to keep it 10. I'm counting 10 to 1. And they're relaxing more deeply. So I'm telling them that as the sun goes down, I'm going to count lower and they're going to relax more. So all three of those things are correlated. So as the sun's going down and as I'm counting, they are relaxing more deeply. So then I simply start counting 10. Sun starts sinking on the horizon and you relax more and more. 9. The sun goes deeper and deeper on the horizon and you relax. 8, down, down, down. So between each number that I say, I'm saying things such as you relax more deeply, or down, 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 or deeper and deeper. Things of that nature. 7, down a little lower now. 6, the sun continues to set on the horizon as you relax more and more deeply. 5, down, down, relaxing more and more as you drift, relax, and unwind. Now, sometimes when I'm counting, I lose my count. I forget where I was, and that may happen to you. Usually what happens, however, when someone does that, and I teach students this all the time because you've got to have some techniques you can use to be fast on your feet. Wherever you think you were, but you're not sure, go back a number. So if you think you were at 4, but you're not sure, go back to 5. So let's say, for example, I was at 4. 4, the sun's sinking lower and lower. And then I somehow forget where I am, and that's okay. I go back to 5. If I think I'm at 4, I can go back to 5. And I say it like this. So 5 becomes 4, and 4 becomes 3. As you drift lower and lower, relax more and more into hypnosis as the sun sinks lower and lower on the horizon. So I've created an excuse, if you will, to go back a few numbers. I haven't messed up the count, because if you do something that's sort of jarring to them and they're counting with you and they think, wait a minute, they messed up the count, that gets them thinking about that. Unless you're using a confusion induction or deepening, which is something completely different we're not talking about right now. In those cases it's okay, but you would continue talking in a confusing way. You don't, however, want them to think that you can't count or get them preoccupied with that. Well, what else can't they do if they can't count properly? So that creates a negative scenario. So anytime you lose your place in any kind of counting during hypnosis, just realize you can go back a number or two. So carrying on now. 3, 2. Now between 2 and 1, something very powerful happens. I say the following. At the count of the next number, you will be completely relaxed. Now why is that? Because, as you may remember, you want that last number to be very powerfully weighted. You don't want it to just be another number that's happening, because you've done all this counting, the sun has been setting, you want them to relax. If they haven't been relaxing up to that point, that's your last chance to relax them before you go into the script. So you want to make sure that you really hit it with everything you've got. So at the count of the next number, meaning the next number is 1, you're going to be completely relaxed and at ease in a very deep state of hypnosis. All right, now 1. The sun is set completely and you are completely relaxed. Now, just in case you got too relaxed, I'm going to count you up now to a mini trans-termination. The count of 3, you'll be wide awake. 1, coming up feeling good. 2, becoming more aware of where you are. And at the count of the next number, see, I'm weighting it, putting weight on the next number. At the count of the next number, you'll be wide awake and completely out of hypnosis. All right, now 3. Eyes open, wide awake, and completely out of hypnosis. So that's the deepening, I threw in a trance termination just to make sure you're with me, because this is, after all, a learning module, and I don't want you drifting off into a deeper state of hypnosis. So why is a deepening an important part of the hypnosis process? Well, the deepening is important because it helps relax your client even more deeply. You've gotten the induction done. Now you want to take advantage of a little bit more time you have before you start the process and get them as relaxed as possible and as deep into hypnosis as possible. Many people compare hypnotherapy to massage because it's so relaxing. So this is your opportunity to get them even more relaxed so they have a pleasant process. Now, there's some people who have a difficult time relaxing because the withdrawal symptoms, if you will, from stress are much like those from drugs or anything else that we might come off of. You get so caught up in stress. So you can be caught up in this and have a difficult time relaxing. So a deepening can be very powerful for people who tend to be stressed out. Others have a hard time relaxing because they get addicted, if you will, to the deadlines they have in life and the stress and the adrenaline of doing things and being someone and going somewhere. So for patients who have these types of situations, the deepening really helps them a lot because it gets them into a relaxed state. And for the best results, you want your client to be in either alpha, theta, or delta. Remember, beta is full awakening consciousness, alpha slow down a little, and theta and delta are below that. And although there are some clients who can immediately fall into theta or delta, the majority of them are going to find themselves in alpha, which is fine. That's absolutely fine. Now, it's usually because they have a little difficulty relaxing, which is why the deepening, again, is so important. So even if your client can move into theta or delta quickly, you still want them to follow the deepening process, at least for the first few sessions. Now, you're not going to be measuring how deep they are, so realistically, you're not going to know unless you hook them up to equipment, which I don't recommend. But if you do your job the way you're supposed to, everything will be fine. But getting them familiar with the process allows them to become more relaxed. So on subsequent sessions, you're going to find that they are more relaxed and they are more familiar with what's going on, so they're more at ease and they get more out of it. You can always tell a person who's in a deep trance state by talking with them afterwards and seeing how much they remember. Now, if the last memory they had was the induction, then you can safely say that the deepening was essentially not needed, but I always say, why not? If you're in doubt, why not put it in there? But what are some of the best deepening techniques? Well, stairs or elevators are always great. Have your clients start at the top of a set of stairs or at the top of an elevator at the top floor and explain that they're safe and nothing will happen to them as they walk down the stairs or ride down the elevator or down the escalator. And explain that as they slowly take that first step or move down to the next floor or descend in the elevator, they'll go deeper into relaxation. And keep them on track by counting backwards from 10. And once you reach 1, they should be completely relaxed. Not only are you keeping them on track, but you're also counting down, sort of thinking of downward relaxation. And you've also told them the lower you count, the more they'll relax. Now, counting's important because it works a lot like the stairs in the elevator, except you don't have the visual component with it necessarily, but it's incremental, so it's wonderful. Sort of like stairs are one after the other, floors are one after the other. Counting is the same concept. And you explain to your client that you're going to count backwards from 10 to 1, and they're going to relax more as they also move downward or watch something going downward. And you can use occasional phrases like I do, such as going deeper or relaxing deeply or deeper still. And since counting relies on verbally helping your client relax, you want to make sure that you remind them of what's going on as you count. You're not just counting, there's actually the sun setting or something's going down and they're relaxing. So let's talk about something called the arm drop. We talk about deepenings. There's something called the arm drop I'd like to explain to you. Now to start, explain to your client that you will reach over and pick up their arm. Anytime you touch a client, you need to explain to them that's going to happen. And suggest that their arm will remain up by itself for a little while. And lessen your support of that arm until it stays up by itself. So let it go a little bit, make sure they're supporting it, and then they have it. Tell your client that as their arm feels heavier and wants to drop down, they are to relax their body more and allow their arm to come down slowly, indicating that they are more relaxed. So as it goes down, they're relaxing more. Explain the arm should only come down as their body relaxes and as their mind relaxes and as they go into a deeper state of hypnosis. And then it comes down at the same speed that they are relaxing, deeply and fully. I like to add words like that, deeply and fully. And as the final part of the technique, let your client know that once their arm touches their leg, so you have it above their leg, they become twice as relaxed. That's very powerful, twice as relaxed. So that's the same concept as weighting the final number. Okay, as I count this next number, you will be completely relaxed. As your arm touches your leg, you will be completely relaxed, or twice as relaxed. I don't like to use things such as 100 times more relaxed or even 10 times more relaxed, because I think that's difficult to conceptualize for the client. But twice as relaxed is very easy to conceptualize, and it makes sense to them. I'm this relaxed. I can relax twice as much as this pretty easily. So these are the ways that you do deepenings, and these are some of the deepening techniques. I'm Dr. Steve G. Jones, hoping you have an outstanding day.